How you doing, good people? This is the 8-Bit Animal. And today we're going to talk about shmup. Y'all know how I like that. This one is interesting because you play as a dude on a motorcycle. And this was the first time I played a shmup where a dude was on a motorcycle. I played Mach Rider after this. Mach Rider doesn't really, it's more car combat than shmup. But anyway, this game was originally released in arcades in 1987 and was ported to the NES in 1989. And the NES port of the game feels older than that. And we'll talk about why in a second. This was published on the NES by the good folks at American Sammy, who gave us Ultimate Basketball and Amagon. And yeah, like I said, it's a serviceable video game. It's good enough. It does alright. But it feels like it's lacking something somewhere. Today, we're going to take a look at Thundercade. Also, Thundercade was not a pay-per-view WCW in the 80s. First of all, WCW didn't actually exist in the 80s. That was the NWA, National Wrestling Alliance. And Thundercade was not the name of the pay-per-view. It was Starcade. Alright, now that I got that out of the way, we could talk about this now. Now, in Thundercade, you play as a dude on a motorcycle who has been brought in to take out a terrorist organization who has taken control of a nuclear plant. You have to take out that enemy army, that terrorist army, and the nuclear plant. That's a scary thing considering what's going on in the world right now. But this game is actually not a bad video game. It's a standard shmup, and it moves like a shmup from the 80s. It's not bullet hell. It's pretty deliberate. It's a little slower on the enemy count considering it's the NES. Also considering it was developed by Micronix. Micronix was kind of notorious for their NES ports being a lot more scaled back than their arcade counterparts, to the point where it can be distracting. Did anybody else play Akari Warriors 2 on the NES? Because that was developed by Micronix. Exactly. Now, this game is okay. It's not the worst thing Micronix did. See Akari Warriors 2. But it's also not on the level of stuff that was released around the same time. Because 1988, a year before this was released on the NES, Life Force came out. And Life Force to me is the pinnacle of what we got in that time period as far as shmups were concerned on the NES. That in 1943. Now, and those two games are a lot faster. They do a lot more as far as color and sound quality and things like that. This one, good game. It just feels really dated. But feeling old and being an old soul, especially in terms of video games, should not derail you or keep you away from playing this, because it is a solid effort. And it's a solid it's a good video game considering. And I would say give it a shot. Now, if you want a copy of Thundercade, starts about, I've seen copies go for as low as $3.25. On average, though, they go about, I want to say like $9-10 a copy for a loose cart. So, yeah, if you want a copy to keep and hold and love and nurture and call it George the video game cartridge. Looney Tune joke. I'm dating myself. Anyway, yeah, you should get yourself a copy of Thundercade. It's a good video game, and it's at a price wise, it's at a sweet spot where you don't feel like you're being taken advantage of by buying a copy. Cause yeah, $9-10 for this isn't a bad investment. And you get a good little motorcycle shooter on your game shelf. That's always fun. This has been the 8-Bit Animal, and I'll catch you beautiful people tomorrow. Tomorrow. Okay. Enough is enough. We've been beefing for years. It's time for me to go ahead and air my grievances with you.